Hello, my name's Perry Fletcher from Douglas Jackson. I'm the operational support practice lead here. I help CEOs and business leaders optimize their operations, resource tools, technology, and workforce, working across operational support functions to recruit more impactful leaders, director, head of, and subject matter expert on a permanent, interim, and day rate basis. Today, I'm joined by Tony, who is a head of op support. Tony, thanks for joining us today. I know you're going to share your experience on our recent process that we've been through.
Hi, Perry. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Yourself?
I'm all good.
Good. So, Tony, thanks for joining us today. As I said, we've successfully placed a couple of people in your team recently, and you've been through our Impact 360 process. So, I just want to get your view really a little bit on that process. But before that, do you mind just doing a quick introduction? So how long have you been a head of op support for, Tony?
I've been head of operational support for around 3 years. Previous to that, I was head of capacity planning, and I've been in the industry for 20 plus years now.
Brilliant stuff. So we've just gone through the Impact 360 process with yourself and been able to secure a couple of excellent candidates. So they'll go on to achieve some brilliant results. What was your reservations about working with us, Tony?
I suppose there are no real reservations. Obviously, it's a bit of a step when you move away from in-house resourcing teams with no cost to budget in there, and you look to use an external partner. It's got to be successful, or you've wasted your money, and obviously that's something that has to be explained and justified, up the leadership ladder.
Okay, brilliant stuff. So what was it that made you pick ourselves as your partner more than and instead of using internal, like you mentioned there?
It's probably two things really. One would be, although I'd never actually personally used Douglas Jackson myself before, I've had a lot of good feedback from people within the industry, and I've known about you as a company for best part of 20 years. And then the other part would be obviously the relationship that myself and you've got, Perry. We talk regularly, so we're constantly talking. And if these sort of roles ever came up, and I had the budget to go to market and actually use an agency, it was always going to be yourselves.
So going through the Impact 360 process, and what have been the benefits that you've seen working with us?
It's very streamlined. The roles that obviously we're recruiting for here are very specialised. The conversations that we had, and then the subsequent shortlists, they were all good candidates. There were no bad candidates in there at all. Everybody met the JD. I probably could have done the job, so it was a case of picking from a really good talent pool, and alongside that, as well as we went along the process, it was time spent with yourself, just really working out what I actually wanted. It's two roles we were recruiting for. There were a number of ways we could have approached it, different combinations of people and how would they get on and complement each other. And you helped massively through that in really sort of define myself. What am I actually looking for?
Okay, brilliant stuff. So obviously you had the design there, the design piece and helping design the roles. Obviously, by sounds of it, saved you a lot of time by actually just giving you a shortlist that you could just go and interview.
Absolutely.
Obviously, time is money as you know it, but by the sounds of it, obviously, as an additional benefit, actually sounds like we've hopefully have improved the quality of the team and the overall team structure as well. With the candidates that you're bringing in.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant. And do you feel like there's been any other benefits we've not mentioned there, or anything else that that you felt that the process offered?
I suppose you've going through this process, you've very much highlighted how good the recruitment process can be, how good that talent pool can look like, and I suppose it's my organisation, definitely myself, has probably opened our eyes to how quick and seamless it can be, and how good that talent pool can be, and how quickly you can get to a really good shortlist.
Yeah,
more broadly speaking, not just for these roles, but for any roles in the future.
No, brilliant, great stuff. So, would if there was another company out there, another organisation that was looking to recruit in the op support space, whether that's planning, analytics, insight, tools, technology, would you recommend us to them, and what would you say to them?
Yeah, I'd 100% recommend you. I'd say have a word with Perry. have a casual conversation, see how you feel about it. But absolutely, I've got confidence in Douglas Jackson to deliver.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you so much for your feedback. Obviously, we saying just to touch on that, the recruitment process was smooth. There was always some hiccups across the way, which there always is in any process. But I think, as I say, I think what we from both angles, I think the agile approach that we had in it to be able to have the regular catch-ups and the conversations that we had were strategic conversations. From my point of view, there wasn't just, oh, here's a list of CVs, we'll bring you back in 3 weeks when you're interviewed them.
Absolutely.
It was an enjoy from my things as well.
Yeah, you kept us really well informed all the way through. There were no real surprises, and like you say, there were a couple of hiccups that happened, but obviously you were really honest about stuff as we went through, and they were quite quickly rectified. So yeah,
Brilliant.
really happy.
Cheers.